Hi, everybody. I'm here today with Alicia, the wealth mentor, money mindset. And today we're going to talk about how we actually self sabotage our money mindset. And we're going to process it and see where we are and where we want to go. So, Alicia, welcome.
Oh, thank you. It's great to be here again. I always have a great time.
Thank you. So, what do you suggest to our audiences that let's a little bit talk about self sabotage and where does it come from and um, what do you
Hmm.
think about that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, as we touched on last week, that self sabotage often comes from, our limiting beliefs and, the way we think and about our money, the things we say, and things like that. And, I mentioned the four ways, we can block the flow of money, four of them last week, how we think, or what we see, what we say, what we hear. And then going on from that, it's also how we feel.
Yeah,
And that's the largest contributor to our relationship with our money is how we feel about ourselves oftentimes coincides with then how we feel about our money, right? Because we also talk about how love, relationships, money, it all goes together. And so if we are feeling bad about ourselves, that kind of carries over to our relationships, and that includes our relationship with money. So that's where it has to start, right?
yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
And I heard something today that was very interesting and it actually made me think. The question was, what's the difference of being worthy and self confidence?
Hmm. Oh, let me think about
To
that
make
for a
I
minute.
mean, yeah, so to it's interesting, so it made
Yeah.
me because I have thought about it, maybe I should answer that and then you can see tell me what you think. So it's the wordy part of me and compared to the self-confidence.
Hmm.
So if in any situation, if you're I can talk about relationships. So let's just say if I'm gonna be I want to be in a relationship that is loving relationship. Am I confident that I can be in that relationship, or
Hmm.
do I think that I'm worthy to be in that relationship?
Hmm.
I think there's a difference there, and it's amazing how you when you look at it or you said feeling it,
Got it. Yep.
when you feel it, and it's, we can ask the same question about money.
Hmm.
Are you confident about it, or are you do you think you're worthy to have
Yeah.
financial freedom? So it's amazing how it's we think it's the same, but it's
It's not.
not.
Yeah. Because now that you say that, when I think about it, I think worth is just something that is, right? It's something that you have or you don't. You're worthy of it just because you're a being, right? We're all worthy of having love. We're all worthy of having wealth and abundance in our lives. But I think then that confidence comes from, seeing, I don't know, skill or something like that, right? I think of self-confidence maybe as something that comes a little bit kind of outside. Well, I don't know. That's a good question. I just think of it more of I get confidence the more I do something, right? Like,
Yes,
right.
exactly,
So, right.
exactly,
So it's right. So the worthy is I'm worthy, but then do I really have the confidence to get out there and date and meet a man, or
exactly.
the
Yeah.
confidence to invest and take care of my money? That comes from building up some skill and just doing it and sometimes failing at it, right? And then you learn, hey, I can do this, or type of thing. So that's kind of how now that you thought of think, now I think about
Yeah.
it, that's kind of what it means to me, the
So
difference.
it's a good question. And you're right. I mean, I talk to my clients and I say, they haven't dated for 10, 20 years or 30 years after their divorce. And then so it's not about, I don't think it's about the worthy part of it. It's just the confidence because
Confidence.
I remember myself in that space a few years back, and I said I don't know anything about dating. I mean, I
Mhm.
haven't been in that space for such a long.
And it's
So it was
new. Yeah, it's new now. It's changed, right? The whole online
Yeah,
thing. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
different from when I was, yeah, in my 20s. Oh my goodness. Dating. Yeah. Back in the 80s. Oh my goodness. That sounds so long ago, but yeah.
So I think, so what would you recommend? Let's say somebody wants to always have this idea of being financially free, but yes, the confidence part is not there. Here and there
Mhm.
is not there. Wordiness, it comes and goes. So it's, I
Right.
don't think there is, you can say I have this or that. Maybe throughout the days or months, it changes from one to
Yes.
another.
It does. It does because it's the same way. Like I was saying, it's about your relationship with money. Some days you feel good about it, right? Like I got this thing, I got this under control. And then something happens, extra bill come in, something happened with the stocks or something, and you're like, oh my God, I guess I don't know what I'm doing after all, or I'm not feeling so confident about it. But so yeah, it comes and it goes. And I think part of it, even with your money, is just learning the basic skills, right? And April is financial literacy month. So take some
Oh, is it?
time. Yes,
Wow.
it is. April is financial literacy month. So take some time and improve your skills, gain some knowledge, where you may be lacking. If it's budgeting or you need some help with spending or debt or investing or saving, whatever it is, just, increase your knowledge and your skill in that area, and that will increase your confidence.
So would you suggest, let's say they say, if somebody says, I want to have $1 million in 2 years or 3 years or in a year, whatever it is, would you kind of suggest for them to have that amount in their mind and give themselves a year or 2 years to get to that space? Or you think that you just start from like, okay, $100,000 step by step? So what's the best way do you think that it will work?
Yeah, it depends on where you are, right? And then where you want to go. If you're starting at you have nothing, then yeah, trying to get to a million in a year or two is probably not realistic, right? Maybe 100,000 in that year or two. But if you have 200,000, 500,000, then yes, a million in a year is very realistic. So we want to look at where you are and be a little realistic. We can look at what you can invest in and what rate of return it's possible for you to get, and then we can go from there. But yeah, it's not entirely realistic to think you're going to get $1 million in a year or two, but you can, but it depends on where you're starting from.
How about 5 years?
Yeah, because money, if you're getting at least a 7% rate of return, your money will double every year. I'm sorry, every 10 years. So yeah, if you're starting with 500,000, then yeah, your money can double, in not in a 10-year period of time. So it's possible, depending on where you're starting from. But yeah, we can work with you.
Oh, brilliant. Very nice. So I guess on my side, I can suggest to our listeners to ask yourself if you're lacking the confidence or the
Yeah.
worthiness in any kind of space that you are in a relationship aspect or the money part.
Mhm.
And it's okay wherever you are, it's fine as long as you have that consciousness to work on it, journal on it, and see, okay, yes, maybe the confidence would be by going on more dates, just a
Mhm.
coffee dates, just to see how you feel after 20, 30 years or 10 years of
Mhm.
being in that relationship that ended. And
Mhm.
now, how do you feel to go out and have like half an hour coffee with this other person?
Mhm.
So
Good.
I guess we can do the same thing about money,
The
how you
money. Yep.
spend. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Because as I mentioned, like, so the other three, right, is your heart, then it's also your gut, right? Your intuition. And I think we don't give enough credit to our intuition, right? When we're dating and even with our money. How do what do you feel good about, just that little niggling that you don't even understand sometimes on the inside, right? That tells you no, Yeah, no, it might not make any sense to you. I used to tell my kids that all the time. Like they would say, "Can I do this?" And I'd say, "No, why not?" I don't know. I just don't feel it. Something in my gut, right, is just telling me that's not a good place for you to go. So similarly with dating or with our money, sometimes we just get that. I shouldn't buy that. I think that car note's a little too high. Or whatever it is. I probably shouldn't buy that, whatever. And that little feeling that we get. And then the other one, and I'll end with this, but is like our behind or our butt, right? There's some stuff we got to get rid of. We have to eliminate. We some waste we have to let go of. We got to let it
Yeah,
go, right? And sometimes we can get, I know it gets a little graphic, but sometimes we can get a little backed up, get a little whatever, and we got to let some stuff go, right? And it's on the inside of us, and it can be anything inside of us that we really need to let go to have that freedom to be able to experience love, to be able to experience that right relationship with our money, that shame, that guilt, that self recrimination, that lack of confidence, that feeling that you're not worthy. We got to get rid of all of that ish.
yeah,
We got to let it go.
exactly. So write down exactly what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
journal all of them, and
Yes.
one by one, look at the feelings that comes up, and
Yes.
feel it,
Yeah.
and change those feelings, because you're worthy. You can get confidence by stepping into a date, or stepping into uh, money mindset that you want to
Yeah.
be in that space. So
Mhm.
it takes some time. It has step by step, but
Right.
you can do it, because
Yeah.
we're here and you can have it all.
That's right. Absolutely. And I
Anything
tell
you
people to date. Yeah, I tell people to date their money. Have a weekly, at least a monthly, but sometimes weekly or biweekly. Yeah, have a date with your money. Sit down, get a glass of wine and put on some music and have a date with your money.
want? Why
Why
not?
not? Yeah. I mean, just make, because sometimes people, it's sitting down or dealing with your money is just like, right? But if you just tell yourself, I'm going to relax, we just going to chill out, we going to have a good time, we going to talk a little bit, we going to figure this thing out,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
just relax yourself, right? Set the mood.
Put that, make it yourself in that space of receiving, and
Exactly.
yes,
Yep.
not being like anxiously looking at it, but just being open to receive that abundance that you have always wanted and you want
Right.
coming to you. Yeah.
Yeah, that ease and that flow. Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Alicia. Thank you guys for listening. If you have any questions, you can email either one of us or make comments on the video on YouTube, and we'll see you next week. Have a great
Yeah.
week. Bye, everybody.